Meet Jim. At 17, he made $1.5 million. No, this isn't one of those spammy YouTube ads with a guy in front of a rented Lamborghini. Jim didn't start off with rich parents, a magic business idea, or some secret crypto coin he bought in his sleep. A year before hitting millionaire status, Jim was broke, borrowing lunch money, failing algebra, and doing odd chores for neighbors just to afford Wi-Fi. His biggest asset? Probably the cracked screen on his hand-me-down laptop. So how does a kid with $0 in his bank account go from being known as that guy who always asked to copy your homework to the guy who gets invited to private online marketing groups where the minimum buy-in is a car? It started on a boring Wednesday, the kind of day where nothing happens, and Jim had just gotten a test back that made him question if numbers were real. A big red 43% stared up at him like a slap from the universe. Most people would wallow. Jim did too for like 20 minutes. Then he got distracted, which it turns out is a very dangerous thing when you're broke, frustrated, and have just discovered a forum thread titled, "How I Made $300 This Week from a Website About Guinea Pig Haircuts." That was the rabbit hole, or guinea pig hole in this case. Jim clicked and read, and then read more. Turns out there were people making money by building tiny websites about the weirdest topics imaginable. Niche sites, they were called. Hyper-focused websites about anything from cactus gardening to left-handed bass fishing. Jim thought it was a scam, but then he saw screenshots, revenue reports, testimonials, and worst of all, grammar errors, which meant these people weren't even that good at writing. That lit a fire. Because if someone could make $300 a month writing about dog sweaters with the grammar skills of a sleepy raccoon, maybe he had a shot. So he started, not with cash because he didn't have any, but with time and pure, unfiltered curiosity. He watched free YouTube videos, read blogs, joined forums. He learned about domains, SEO, affiliate marketing, and that terrifying thing called backlink building. Jim's first site, it was about portable blenders. Why? Because he found a keyword with low competition and high search volume while procrastinating on his science project. The site was awful, like made with a free website builder, awful. But he wrote 10 articles, optimized them as best as a teenager could, slapped some affiliate links on it, then waited. And nothing happened. But here's where Jim was different. He didn't give up. He figured, if I can spend 3 hours trying to beat level 98 on that one impossible mobile game, I can figure out SEO. So he kept going. He improved the content, added better images, learned how to get backlinks by emailing people with subject lines like, "Hi, I like your blog, and I'm not a bot." Eventually, traffic trickled in, a click here, a sale there. One day, he checked his affiliate dashboard and saw $3.78. He screamed. Then he made another site, this time about electric lunchboxes. Don't laugh. People search for that stuff. And guess what? That site did better, faster. He started to understand what worked, and more importantly, what didn't. By month 4, he had built 5 niche sites. Only one made consistent money. But that one? It was making around $200 a month, enough for Jim to start reinvesting. He bought a domain, $8.99. Hosting, $2.95 a month. Tools, free trials until he had to use new emails or borrow his cousin's. Then something clicked. Jim realized he wasn't just making sites. He was building digital real estate, little content machines that worked 24/7, even when he was playing video games or pretending to study. He began flipping them, not flipping like pancakes, flipping like buy low, grow fast, sell high. He joined Facebook groups where people bought and sold websites. His first sale? A tiny site about ergonomic office footrests. Sold it for $1,200. He was 17. That was more than his yearly income from mowing lawns. Over the next few months, Jim turned into a machine. He'd wake up at 5 a.m., not for school, never for school, but to check rankings. He built SOPs, used templates, outsourced some content to freelancers in exchange for gaming credits. Yes, really. By month 7, he had 10 active niche sites. 3 were profitable, 2 were duds, 5 were works in progress. He sold 2 of them in 1 week for $9,000 combined. That's when he realized he could scale. Jim automated everything he could. He used tools to analyze keywords, track backlinks, and manage his tiny content empire. He hired a few college students from a local Facebook group to write articles, paid them per word, gave them ridiculous pen names like Bradford Composton just for fun. But by month 10, Jim had crossed $600,000 in total revenue. Profit? Around half that. He reinvested almost everything. bought premium domains, hired editors, even commissioned logos that looked kind of legit. And then came the exit. A buyer from a website brokerage contacted him, loved his sites, loved his numbers, loved that he was getting 75% of his traffic from Google. They offered to buy his top 3 sites for $900,000. Jim almost spit out his cereal. The deal went through. After taxes, fees, and one minor panic attack, his account showed 7 figures. $1.5 million. At 17, from niche websites, about toilets, blenders, and desk chairs. Today, Jim still builds sites, but now he teaches others, consults for startups, and occasionally writes ridiculous blog posts about how he made it all happen. He still wears the same hoodie, eats cereal for dinner, and has no idea how taxes work. But he owns a house, bought his parents a car, and is considering launching a site about weird success stories. So the next time someone says, you can't make money online unless you're a genius or have connections, just think of Jim, the kid who turned guinea pig haircuts into $1 million idea and proved that the internet is still wild, weird, and full of opportunity for anyone with curiosity and a slightly unhealthy obsession with SEO. And no, he still hasn't passed algebra. But who needs math when Google rankings pay the bills?